Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session, further continuation of web series in conversation with future Nigerians. So today we have with us Aishwarya, who has been a ranker for NIPER 2021 with All India rank 41. Let's understand the journey for a GPAT triple digit ranker to a NIPER double digit ranker. Let's try and get an idea about how are things different compared to GPAT NIPER. What is the way like? We all have a lot of questions when to start for GPAT, third year, second year, first year. First year ज़्यादा हो गया. Comparatively, when it is the right time to hit in and multiple more questions. Welcome to this web series of In Conversation with Future Nigerians. Welcome in Aishwarya. First of all, thanks for your time and a big congratulations as you're going to be at your DIMS destination, your dream destination of Naipur Mohali very soon. Let's waiting for the official go in, nothing else. So when it comes to the preparation part of it with regards to GPAT and NIPER, would just like to get an idea that based on your rank of GPAT, how well did you manage to tackle yourself and get ready for NIPER?
Sir, basically there is a difference between the whole GPAT and NIPER preparation. So, firstly, we have to understand like how NIPER is, what is NIPER exam perspective, like what they want you to study and what is their important subjects or priorities. So, I think understanding that initially, like what you have to study for NIPER because it's completely different from what we study for GPAT. So, like understanding the whole process of what questions and what type of questions to be asked, I think that is the most priority. Like we have to keep it in mind. And then once you know like what sort of questions have been asked, I think then we can go forward with like the preparation. I think then automatically we understand what is like need to be done.
What was your GPAT rank?
GPAT was 187.
And NIPER being 41, the jump was pretty big. So, firstly, talking about GPAT rank of 187, was it something satisfactory? I mean, the amount of effort you had put in for 2 years, especially you being a student of offline and online program, both, you have seen the variation. So, was it up to your expectations or were we far behind compared to what we were deserving?
Sir, GPAT was, frankly speaking, it didn't go the well I wanted. So, like before giving any exam, we have our own mindset that I'll attempt this many questions and I'll get this much score. But when you are not even closer to your target, like I wanted this much attempt, and you are not even closer to it, so it feels obviously there is a dissatisfaction, and there was this even after I received my scores, and I was like, I would probably get the rank of like 300 or 500 or so. So then it was like a bit like negative thoughts were there. Ki even after giving your best and trying your, working so hard, you are not able to achieve. Had aimed of like top 10 AIR and then thinking of like 300 or 500 AIR. So it was like a complete a different perspective. Like I had never thought of that happening. So it was a learning, obviously, because I think I deserved that rank, so that I could make the some changes that I need to make in my preparation. So I think that rank was not satisfactory from my end, but I think it helped me in future. Not audible, sir.
So, sorry. So, there were few areas where we went wrong during GPAT preparation. So, how did we identify that these were the domains which are our weak areas and improvise upon that to make it for a better go during NIPER?
Yeah, sir, surely. Like I didn't consider like going on and referring the reference books for like Sutex, like Lackman reading and all. But then for NIBA preparation, I think for certain topics like which are completely very important from NIBA point of view, like NDDS, polymers, excipients, regulatory affairs, that I think it is very important to go through those reference books. that you get to know some different points you might have not studied anytime. So that was something that I opted out for going through all the reference book. Not only for Ceotex, I think the main was like biotechnology, Satyanarayan, then biochemistry. Like this are their core interests. So I think that books, studying from reference books makes a lot of difference. You come to know that this is not it what you get from notes. So I studied those extra points, and then later on studying mostly I didn't do anything for regarding analysis for GPAT. So studying analysis from like the scratch was difficult. Learning the core concepts and then taking it ahead, because that was very important. Then OC for organic chemistry, not only the name reactions that we studied for GPAT were enough. Had to do those from the ones which were in NIPER by Namdar. So I started considering those extra reactions that are to be done, and also the the entire basic concepts of organic chemistry, the types of reactions which were there in detail, and got my concepts cleared with OC. I think that what helped me for the NIPER preparation as well. Also, including this, there were also like pharma affairs and the G8, then logical reasoning, then Nobel Prizes, FDA approved drugs. This had to be done differently and focused on for NIPER.
When it comes to the preparation method, one of the major challenges which as students we face, we always prefer to attempt practice full length test papers maybe 2 3 months before the exam. Like if GPAT is in Jan or February, suppose I talk about your GPAT which happened in Feb 2021. So most of the students prefer that I'll start solving full length test paper around November December, क्योंकि तब तक मेरी चीजें पढ़ के हो जाएगी. That's the assumption. Do you think that's the right call? Because I suppose at Pharmalite is totally different. So how about those opinions? Like we always advise that solve paper right from day one, a full length test paper as well. Although you go wrong, it's not a problem. You identify where are you going wrong basically. So what is your call, your stake on that? Did you start solving question papers initially or was it something just before exams?
Sir, actually, I had the same opinion that like if you're not prepared entirely, then don't give the exam. But then, since because of when I joined Pharmalite, and then the push that I got, you give the exam no matter what results you get. You at least attempt it. So then I started attempting for those exams, and for the first, like, I don't know how many exams I failed for in them very badly for the full length test. But then I think that test is just an indication of your improvement. So like if I have attempted this many papers, I get that confidence that I have attempted this many papers, no matter when or how. So when I repeat those tests and I solve them again, I come to know what improvement I had made compared to what I attempted maybe a few months ago. So I think it's just no matter what time it is, I think starting from initially that speed is also speed, accuracy, your whole test are your whole skills are being tested there. Which questions to be attempted and which to be avoided. I think that skills also you learn while giving the exams.
How many questions did you attempt usually during your full length test papers practice, which you were solving on our Pharmalite website test series portal?
For NIPER
GPAT,
or
NIPER
GPAT?
both. Let's consider example of GPAT.
Okay. So for GPAT, like I used to try 90 to 100 attempts. Uh, so that was also my
How many
target for.
questions did you solve for GPAT 21 on the day of exam?
I attempted only 84, so that was where I think I lacked in giving those
So
extra, taking those extra risks.
we were roundabout at the same number to what we were practicing. Let's consider example of NIPER 2021. How many questions did we attempt on the day of exam, on the day of NIPER paper?
So I had attempted 181 questions for NIPER.
Basically for GPAT we attempted 90 out of 125, so we left another 35 questions. 84 to be precise. So we left almost 36 questions aside for 36, 41, whatever the case. And on other grounds, we attempted 181, so we left only 19. So the number of attempts increased compared to GPAT. So was there a basic understanding that if I'm supposed to stand different, if I'm supposed to get a separate score which can get me a good rank, then the number of attempts in a risky manner should increase comparatively?
So it all depends on that situation when you are into that exam. I think risk factor is obviously there, but there is also certain thing called as intuition. So for some question, you have that feeling that no, this is what I've seen somewhere, or so that risk I think is to be taken, which I might not have taken for GPAT. So I think that extra risk, will obviously help you somewhere even by 0.25 marks or something. But I think that try is important. If you lower your attempts only, then your chances would narrow down gradually, like that.
So we basically learned that to give ourselves an opportunity to stand on the higher side, the number of questions comparatively should be of a higher attempt based on the level of question paper again. Coming to the preparation part of it, how did you manage it with your regular college examinations? Because I suppose you were there right from the third year. You had papers on Mondays, but you were there for offline lectures on Sundays as well. Those were non-COVID days, and then having that hybrid switch from an offline lecture to an online lecture. How was that as a part in with regards to prep?
Sir, actually, it pre-COVID times it was very difficult to study, to manage both college and classes. Frankly speaking, I used to only study on Sundays. That too while traveling on my way to classes, because just to avoid that embarrassment of getting the answers wrong or making a mistake while answering to your questions. So just to that, me and my friends, we used to study during that time also. So I think that was the only time Sunday ka that we used to get for studying for GPAT, and starting like what is to be done, how is to be started for GPAT, and what exactly we have to start with and everything. So then eventually I think coming on to the online mode, it was starting it was very easier, that we said that time was consumed, time was saved a lot. And then also that we started, that interactive session was there, for even in the online lectures. So I think it was very easy at the beginning, but then later on as we moved on to the online, we continued. I think there was this period that we felt it's it's too much that we cannot go beyond. But otherwise it was very difficult before. But offline, I think COVID was a boon for us, at least, that we got so much of time to study and prepare for it, and avoiding those college lectures and time pass that used to happen. I think a lot time was saved and we could utilize it for GPAT preparation.
We could basically focus on something we wanted in the long run. How with regards to kind of staying attentive for those long 3 hours of lectures on Sundays? Because even now your juniors, they get saturated at 12 sharp. So how did you manage to hold on yourself from that 12 to 1 part as well, irrespective of the early days or the later days? Because ultimately it's saturation for everyone for such long hour lectures. What was that which kept you running? Ke boss, just one more hour, I need to push it.
Sir, it depends on your your interest, as well as what you have prepared for. So if initially it was very okay and easy going online lectures, but then when you reached a point like you were, I know this, and also I know these things and I'm aware of it. And then those things which were coming again in the lecture, sometimes it was a sort of boring. But then not for all lectures, again it all depends on your what interest and what state of mind you are in at that time. But starting 2 hours are very easy to attend, but then later 1 hour, that obviously is difficult for everyone. So yeah, but we managed it.
How about our offline classrooms, which were supposed to be 4 hours on weekends, and I suppose we had 15 minutes of break somewhere in between at 12:15, 12:30. But that last one half an hour, 1.5 hours, which where we had some small topics where we had maybe a revision of those 3.5 hours, that was always fun. So how was that different? Was it the case that saturation also affects the long hours just because it's online? There's no one around you to push you. Even if you don't want to study, you can move out.
Yes, offline lectures were quite different. You come to know like where you exactly stand out. People asking doubts, or it might be like they answering the questions. You come to know like you need to study if you don't know that topic. So I think that competition, healthy competition, used to build up during the offline lectures, which was which I think lagged during the online lectures because it was like it had become like a one way. So I think offline lectures were quite interactive, and like it was very the guidance also that you that we used to get after every lecture, after every Sunday, that you need to prepare for this, and that every constant thing was there. So offline lectures were obviously quite better than the online lectures. Also used to ask questions, and that question and answer session was there where everyone can interact, and you could ask like anyone to like stand up and answer the question. So I think that would make us like study
The
and
field
push
changes, the
that extra
environment
mile.
pushes it to other.
Mhm.
With regards to the difference in pattern, okay. With regards to study pattern, okay. With regards to number of questions being attempted on the day of NIPER, all fine. But how about the output of it? I mean, if you could have attempted, if you could have taken that additional day of GPAT, pushing that 84 to 105, do you think it might have surely made a difference to the rank from triple digit to a double digit? Obviously, a calculated risk, but a risk.
I think some risk would have helped me, but then again, I think I was lacking in some or the other thing, that I was not able to even gain that confidence to answer that question. So that confidence builds up from your knowledge. So I think I was lacking in somewhere during the GPAT time. Uh, that satisfaction that you get after the exam was probably not there. That I got it from, at least from the NIPER exam.
And getting that result output of GPAT, which was probably something not what we deserved. We probably deserved a single or a double digit rank for GPAT. How difficult was it to kind of hold on to yourself and take a go again for NIPER, boost yourself, push yourself to get that extra mile and reach the target?
So, sir, the initial days after GPAT result went like into these thoughts, and the environment was not like a happy one. Like, so it was obviously difficult to begin, because anything related for any exam, the beginning, the initiative is difficult. So that initiative, like we were very difficult to like start even with the NIPER preparation. But the one factor was obviously the classes, another was the friends that I had. So we used to study together, push each other, and go that extra mile, so that at least we can start with NIPER preparation and get going with it. And also obviously the family support is constantly there, but these two are the also there which keep me going.
How did Pharma help in the entire journey with regards to preparation or way forward for GPAT to NIPER or getting that go for GPAT?
So I think Elite was the best decision to come over, because it was what is important is not only the knowledge that you get, or the coaching is but the main thing behind is the guidance, the motivation, that constant support. And that is what any student would want, let it be for any entrance. Because sometimes we try to give up, we sometimes try to lose things that we might have done. So I think that guidance, that motivation, that support is something that is any student wants that. And I think the Farmlight is the best place where you can get all of these things and you can go ahead with it.
Basically, a direction for the hard work to go in the direction for smart work. Thanks a lot for that. Most importantly, with each month passing by, suppose it's June, then it's July, then it's August, and you have a less amount of time coming for your entrances, how was it that you were tracking your progress? With time it's getting better, or I'm still on those same grounds?
So can you repeat the question?
I said, with regards to the preparation, with each month passing by, how are you tracking that your preparation is making you better and ready for the entrance?
So the main thing which was like an indication of my improvement was one of the test series that I gave, like the test series which were on our online portal. So that was something validation, like if you are improving, like the FLTs that we would give, how much you're scoring and where are you going wrong, and are you improving on that when you give that exam again or something. So even preparing, like going from the Inamdar or Pearson books, their MCQ. I think these MCQs are the validation that which tell you that you might not be prepared for this and you are prepared for this. So I think these test series and these notes that you get the answer, like this is to be done.
How many of the questions for NIPER 2021 out of 200 were a part of something which you heard in lectures, test series, hard copy notes, some kind of domain which you heard somewhere around? And I say somewhere around 130 to 140 questions were such, based on I got from your batchmates, that you probably heard some of them somewhere or the other.
Yes, sir, definitely. Many of the questions which were from like the types of reactions, or like few questions from the coology part, or some were I have seen them in the test series and also were present in the lectures. So I think that's the only reason that we could finish our paper before time, and we could go that extra. We could take that extra risk to you know get that much questions attempted.
Lastly, two important questions. How about the mindset building with each question paper, what you were attempting? Let's say, suppose NIPER 2021 paper being attempted. Few days prior NIPER paper, you solved a question paper and you got suppose 180 correct. So did you had a mindset on the day of NIPER that 180 is a tentative number which I'm going to attempt irrespective of the level of paper?
Yes, sir. Actually, I had, to be very honest, 4 to 5 days prior, I had in my mind that I'll attempt this many questions or this much, because based on my confidence, which I got through my test series. But before 2 days exam, I was like, no, like, okay, it is fine. Whatever is the paper, you just uh, you don't I think if you have given your best, I think then you expect the least. So I had no expectations from myself that I had to attempt this much or I had to get this many scores or something. So I had least expectation. I was like, even if I attempt 130, it is fine, okay. So I had kept myself calm, that don't push yourself to a level that you might get again dissatisfied or something. So just if you have given your best, I think then you don't have to expect so much. It will happen eventually or organically.
Last question, was timer constrained during NIPER with 200 questions in 2 hours?
So time was never a constraint, even for solving the online test series, or let it be for NIPER. So yes, this was because of the all the preparations that we had gone through. But so time, because of solving so many papers online, reporting you the time, how much time it took and everything. I think time was never a constraint. So that was an
So we
advantage.
basically, I would say we eliminated all the challenges which were expected on the day of exam, well before in hand.
Sorry, sir.
We eliminated all the possible challenges with regards to time as a constraint well before during our practice papers. Lastly, any important message from your end for all the future upcoming Sniper aspirants, which will be your juniors at Sniper Mohali, surely?
Yes, sir. I okay, sir, fine. So yeah, basically, I think what is important for any entrance is the interest. So if you have that interest, I think you would never feel like just for the sake of doing it. Also, there has to be a a knowledge based study, uh, which is like we are not studying only for the exam point of view, because for the longer run, uh, yeah, for when you go ahead for the in future, if you see, so what matters is basically the knowledge that you have earned, and no matter what, you might get Naiper Ahmedabad, you might not get even Naiper. So what matters is the knowledge that you have earned that will stay with you throughout. So so that knowledge and the interest, I think, is enough to like push you ahead and keep you going. So don't study from only the exam point of view, in a way, like not like the night. Obviously you have to study from the Niper perspective, but you have to consider the knowledge based study as well while preparing for any entrance exam. So yeah, and I think that clear your basic concepts, and I think you will be surely done with this.
Work on the application part of it and things would be through. Thanks a lot, Aishwarya, for your time. All the best for a bright future. And yes, your juniors are coming soon to be a part of Sniper Mohali as well. Thank you so much.